Hey everyone, Alok here. So I like to backpack a lot, travel quite a bit too, and then when you're not traveling, I like to drink water that's not gonna give me a lot of harmful stuff. Um, which, if you live in the United States, you still want to be careful. The water is probably not going to have any bacteria or anything that's bad for you, but it can have obviously a lot of other chemicals. I say obviously because it does have a lot of chemicals. These have been detected all over the country. Things like PFOAs, lead was obviously there in Flint. So I think if you live in the United States, you can't really trust your government to provide totally clean water, unfortunately. So at home, my go-to water bottle is the Epic water bottle. I love this thing, and this is what they call their urban water filter, and so it filters out bacteria, and then it filters out a lot of chemicals, and it's pretty easy to suck the water out of the sky. You could replace the filters really easily, and it's really effective. So that's kind of my go-to daily use water bottle. They have another version, the outdoor filter, which I think is a little bit harder to suck water through, which will filter out a lot more bacteria and then viruses and things like that. And that's when you're outdoors and you're backpacking and stuff like that. I actually have one of those, but I haven't even used it yet. Reason I haven't used it yet is that for backpacking, my go-to kind of water purifier now is this guy, the Grayl. The Grayl, it's a water bottle and a purifier, and it will get rid of viruses and all kinds of other things that some of the other guys, like the LifeStraw and other things, I think are not quite as effective. I don't believe in terms of filtering out everything, as well as not filtering out chemicals and that stuff. Whereas the Grayl will filter out all of that stuff. It will not filter out 100%, let's say, of lead or some of these chemicals, but a pretty high percentage, and I think significantly more than a lot of these other guys. So both the Epic and the Grayl have really powerful filters. And then the way the Grayl works is that you lift this thing, and then you can keep filtering all the water you want. Now, you need to open this thing out so that water can go in. When you want to open it, it's a little bit tricky to open up. As you can see, it's a little bit tricky here. I'm having a few problems, but there we go. We got it. And then what you do is you fill this bottom part, this whole thing with water, and then not all the way to the top, but to the line, and then you push this whole thing down on top of it, and then you get clean filtered water right in there. Now to push down, if you put it on a desk, it's a little tricky. You probably want to put it on the floor. You really need to use a full force of your weight to push down on it. It's a little bit tricky. And then the first few times you do it, if you're a little off balance or something, some water might squirt out at you, or it might be a little weird. That happened to me the first couple of times, but then it was very smooth. It is a little tricky to open and to push down. So for instance, my wife, she always asks me to open it. I think she could open it, but it's difficult. You saw it's a little difficult. It took a little bit of a pull from me, but it's not too bad. It's very useful. You do, depending on how much water you need, you might be doing it 5 or 6 times or whatever. But it's overall like not too bad, and I really like that the filter is quite powerful and it's pretty easy to use. It's very portable. And and it's a water bottle, so you can, depending on where you go, you may not need to carry another water bottle or something like that. The Grayl, it's a little bit expensive. It's like $70 or $80. But what can you do? I think it's not a huge market for the product, and it's if you use it the way I do, like use it when I travel with water that's a little bit dicey, and then I filter the water that I'm going to use to like wash vegetables and fruits with, or that I'm going to heat up and then drink. So it's really useful. So it's a little expensive, but definitely if you're using it, you get your money's worth. And the other thing, of course, that I really like to use these water bottles about is that These bottles is that I'm not getting all these plastic bottles and feel terrible about using all of that and polluting and creating all this waste. So these things, you feel a lot better using these things, and they're great. And as you can see, they're with me like all the time. My Epic and my, well, there's the Grayl, and my Epic. Where's my Epic? There's my Epic. Yeah. So two great products, and these I love them for backpacking as well as daily use. I'm using them all the time.